Alright mates, how's it going? In today's video, chapter 2 of Illidan. I kind of realised in the last video that doing silly voices on a whim is actually quite difficult because you lose track of whose voice belongs to who almost immediately. But anyway, we're with Maiev in this one, so let's go! Maiev Shadowsong, otherwise known as the Crazy Stalker Batman Lady, was currently stood atop a cliff, studying her surroundings, which was difficult because the huge Outland sun was glaring right in her eyes. But she did manage to spot what she was looking for, one of her group's alien pursuers, ducking in and out of sight behind a boulder. I see our insectoid friends are still following us. I've heard they take captives to feed their hatchlings. And Indra's words did not surprise Maiev. Outland was a bloody awful place, inhabited by bloody awful creatures. And as if to emphasise that point, the blaring foghorn roar of a fell reaver then sounded off in the distance. 2 days ago, Maiev and her watchers had barely managed to escape one. Surprisingly sneaky buggers considering how gigantic they are. Maiev then noticed more ravagers scuttle into view. I could put an arrow through that one's eye. Why bother? There's thousands more of them. Let them follow. If they attack, we'll teach them the error of their ways. But let's not waste arrows. The troops then fell into line behind her, and Maiev knew she was going to have to keep a close eye on all of them. Back home, on Azeroth, she never would have doubted her soldiers' commitment, but they weren't back home. They were here, and she'd already noticed a wild look in several of her soldiers' eyes, ever since they chased Illidan through the portal. He will not escape us, Warden. Of course he won't. I've not crossed the gap between worlds to let the betrayer elude justice. Although, he does have powerful allies here. So what? He's not getting away. We captured him once, we'll capture him again. More ravagers then started to appear over on a different slope. It was entirely possible that these bug-like creatures were setting some sort of trap. Illidan wasn't with Kel'Thas or Lady Vashj when we first captured him. Prince Kel'Thas is a traitor, Lady Vashj is a twisted abomination. If they get in our way, then we'll kill them. Now, Maiev wasn't quite as confident on the inside as she was pretending to be in front of her peeps, but she didn't really care about Kel'Thas or Vashj or any other person that might stand in her way. All she cared about was Illidan. She'd not spent 10,000 years of her life guarding him just to see him bugger off and do his wicked nasty stuff. Do you think this broken sage will be able to help us against them? This Akama, or whatever his name is? I don't know, Inindra. He may be of use, he may not. In the long run, it doesn't matter. We're going to win. We always have, and we always will. Awkward silence then fell across the entire group, and whilst Maiev's followers exchanged weary, she's talking shit type glances, Maiev found herself having a little bit of a flashback, mainly because the landscape of Outland had been torn apart by magic, and it wasn't that different than something she'd seen before, over 10,000 years ago. The War of the Ancients. Forests burned and nations died. Thousands of skirmishes and countless horrors, all because of goddamn magic, which brought the Burning Legion to Azeroth. She tried to tell them all. It was obvious. They needed to kill everyone who used magic. The High Elves, Illidan, all of them. But did they listen? Not for shit. Instead, they chose to follow Malfurion and Tyrande. Bunch of pussies. The sound then brought Maiev back to the present. The Ravagers were on the move again, edging closer. So, the Warden ordered her peeps to mount up, and then they all started to cheese it. And Indra then rode up alongside Maiev, with a confused look on her face, obviously wondering why they were cheesing it, especially after Maiev was being all Billy Big Bollocks a minute ago. But now was not the time to senselessly throw away lives in pointless battles, not when the trail of their true prey lay before them. Oh, Illidan, what an enigma. His mind was impossible to comprehend, and that bothered Maiev, because she was a hunter and wanted to understand her prey, not because she wanted his balls or something. She'd heard the rumours. Yeah, she just wants his balls, yeah. Weaklings, the lot of them. They were not prepared to deal with true evil, and they feared those that had the strength to do what needed to be done. Warden Shadowsong, what? Over there! Maiev looked at where Inindra was pointing, and quickly saw more Ravagers ahead, blocking their path. Looks like they had indeed been setting a trap. Prepare for battle! Maiev and her watchers got into a line formation. They were surrounded and outnumbered, but they were not afraid. They would not retreat. Not when they were this close to Zangarmarsh, this close to making contact with Akama. Form up in a flying wedge behind me. We'll cut down these animals and smash our way clear. And so they did. The lightsabers roared as they crashed into the Ravagers, and as Maiev drew her Umbra Crescent and sliced through a whole bunch of insects, she found herself thinking, I wonder what Illidan's up to. And we're leaving it there! She's bloody obsessed. I kinda like Maiev though, because she's a bit unstable. I have a feeling she might end up doing one of the funniest things in this entire series, but don't hold me to that. As usual, link in the description if you're interested in buying this book. Also there's links to my Discord server and my Patreon page too. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!